So here we are, sharing secrets of the soil with me, your host, Regen Ray. Hello, soil lovers. Regen Ray here, and welcome to another episode of Secrets of the Soil. Today, I'm going to be joined with an amazing guest that's going to help you solve all that organic matter that you have lying around the house. Today's guest is joining me from the other side of the world. It's 5:30 a.m. where he's joining me. Yair, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. And good morning or good afternoon or good evening in Australia.
Yes, doesn't matter where you're in the world. The time zones don't really matter anymore thanks to technology. Now, you've come up with you're the co-founder and visionary for HomeBiogas. For our soil lovers who may have just heard this new word, what is the HomeBiogas?
So the HomeBiogas is it's a biogas system. So what it does, it takes organic waste and transforms it into gas and liquid fertilizer. How does it happen? It's a natural process of anaerobic fermentation of organic material, produces gas and fertilizer.
Yeah, I love that. It's almost like a win-win, 3-in-1, reducing waste, creating a fertilizer, and also the gas. And the gas can be used for cooking. Is that kind of what the gas is for?
Yeah, the gas is energy. We can use it for cooking, for heating water, for even big systems generate electricity. But we focus in closing the cycle in the house, in the home level, farm level, back to the kitchen.
Yeah, I love that circular economy. For the listeners who haven't got a visual representation of the product, to me, I see it as almost like a tent or a blow-up jumping castle. I don't know if you have those in your area, but it's this kind of nice looking device that sits there and you feed it in one end and does its magic. How does the device actually work, and why did you design it to be in that way?
So how does it work? It works like a garbage can. Okay, so it's a garbage can of organic material. You just instead of throwing it to the garbage or to your compost bin, you throw it into this system. You have it's built like us actually. Yeah. Has a mouth, a neck, a stomach, and you throw it into the stomach, and then the stomach it ferments and produces gas. And the gas, we collect it in another balloon, and then we pressurize it with weights, and then it goes back to your kitchen with good pressure of gas pressure to cook on. And in the other end, liquid fertilizer comes out. How we built it in a specific way that one, it can all collapse into a box. So we put it all in a box and we can send it worldwide. We actually have systems more than 100 countries around the world. This is, let's say, our innovation, our patent. And second, it doesn't need any connection to electricity for pumps. It's totally off grid. So it works automatically. It works only by law of physics. And so that's how the system works.
It seems so simple, yet so innovative. I see this device being spoken a lot for people who are looking to go off grid or living in tiny houses or camping kind of arrangements. And I think, the light weight of it and the fact that it is movable aligns with that kind of culture. Do you have them at different scales? Like, can a big farm or big household that has a lot of organic matter scale this up, or is it made more for domestic use?
So yeah, we have it also for just houses in even in Melbourne, in Sydney, and in Tel Aviv, in Miami, in LA, all over the world. So it's also not only for these off-gridders, just as in your backyard that you have a small garden and you want to throw your waste, do something with your organic waste. So we have it all over these kinds of areas also. We have today we have three sizes, one for a small house, and also we have it for a farm level. In the farm level, let's call it small to medium size farm levels. We don't have it for hundreds of tons a day, like huge systems, but it's more like a system that can also be shipped. And also, if you need it to grow, you can just put another one next to it and connected together. So it's not a big infrastructure. Our vision was make it easy, make it simple, zero infrastructure, and so it can happen with a low budget and feasible. And also it's up and running in a few hours. From the minute you open it until it's up and running, it's a few hours. So this was like, make it easy, make it happen.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the fact that you explained it like a human, like it has a mouth, a neck. If you look at the actual product, the body, it definitely makes sense from that point of view. What got you interested to solve this problem? Like how much of an issue is the organic waste industry? Because I think sometimes calling it like organic waste, people think, oh, it's natural, it just goes away. But what are some of the problems that exist in this industry that you're trying to solve?
So I'm a water biologist. This is what I learned, marine biologist. And I learned where we live, we have a one small lake. It's the biggest one in the whole Mediterranean, but not in Mediterranean, Middle East, but it's called the Sea of Galilee. And that Sea of Galilee was almost died, actually 20 years ago from overnutrients, from cow manure, from cow manure, from cow farms, that all the manure was washing down the rivers into the lake, and the lake was full of overnutrification, causes algae bloom, and the algae bloom kills actually the lake.
Wow!
So I knew. And also, so I learned about all of these issues, and also, of course, what's the issues in the oceans when you have all the sewage coming down into the ocean and overnutrification and all of these issues. So yeah, that's what I came with in my knowledge from the university. But actually, like, the first time I saw it ever is when I was traveling in the middle of university. I said to myself, okay, what's I'm going to do with this, with my university, with my studies? I want to know what I'm going to do. So I said to myself, I'll fly to India, I'll travel, and if I have a good idea, I'll continue my studies. And if not, no. So I was traveling in South India. I was climbing this high mountain. And on the top of the mountain, I met a local family, an Indian family, and they invited me for tea, for chai. And then I went into the kitchen, and they said to me, I see in the kitchen a blue flame, beautiful blue gas flame. And I said to myself, wow, all over India, when I was traveling, I see only smoke. They cook on dry cow manure or wood. I never saw really gas, for sure not in the middle of the mountains. So I asked the local family, how do you have gas here? And they said to me, come, we'll show you in the backyard. And I went to the backyard, and they had there some cows. And Indian guy said to me, look, I have some cows. They roam around and they come back. We milk them. And in the morning, I washed down all the manure into this hole in the ground. He had a hole in the ground, and then he had like a small cement dome coming out of it. And from there was a pipe. And it goes into the kitchen, and he says to me, this is biogas. And I said, wow. I was amazed because I was like, wow. And he said to me, not only that I get biogas out of it, from the other side, I get liquid fertilizer, and I give the fertilizer to my coffee plantation. He had a coffee plantation and cardamom plantation. And I also grow beautiful flowers called kala. Kala flowers, you know kala flowers? It's like white, big flower, and I sell it in the weekend market. So me as a water biologist, I said to myself, wow, he also catches the cow manure instead of going down the river, instead of contaminating his water in the well. He's also eliminating the need of cutting down wood or cooking on manure that makes a lot of smoke and actually is a big killer for many millions of people in the world until today. Oh. And he's also is producing income from selling the flowers, and he's doing fertilizer. All of this in one system, amazing. So I said, this is what I want to do in my life. And I went back to study. I majored in this. I really focused in it, went around the world, learned everything about it. And what I saw is that the technology that was in the world, the technology that I saw in India was actually a biogas system that was digged inside the ground, a 10 cubic meter cement dome. Takes about a month to build it. And if you have an earthquake, it breaks. So I said, okay, so this is when I also went to my co-founders, Oshik Efrati and Erez Lancer, that I said to them, look, there's an amazing idea in this world, biogas system, but we have to have it accessible. Today, the technologies doesn't make it accessible. There's millions out there, but it's actually not really easy to build, not looking good, not easy to build, not. So we took on ourselves a life mission to make a biogas technology affordable and available to all. And our innovation is how we took this system that took 1 month to build to actually a system that we put it all in one box, send it across the world, and it takes 2 hours to build. Wow. And no infrastructure. Yeah.
Wow. I just wonder if you never went on that trip to India, like there's always just a reason, you never know. And, you just discoveries you find. And, it's so interesting because, a lot of the natural ways of solving problems are not in labs or in research centers or, they're just out in nature where people have found an opportunity and they're not even talking about it. They're not on YouTube. They're not on, some funded, research papers, studies to work out what can happen. And here you are, that's, discovered this kind of someone's backyard invention and then turned it into what we see here today is the home biogas system. And I love the fact that there is multiple outcomes from this product. And so was that always in the design, or was it to give both of those life, or was it the gas that's more important, or which one took priority of being the first thing to solve? Or do they just be important?
So I think it depends where in the world. The system has 3 openings, or one is for the waste, organic waste. One is for the gas, and one is for the liquid fertilizer. And for each customer that we have, it gives them a different solution. Some customers that we have say, take care of my waste, thank you very much. The rest is just take care of the waste. And it's nice to have the gas and the liquid. It's a nice story, but take care of the waste. And other people say, like we have other people that say, wow, the gas is saving us, because let's say if we have in Kenya, in India, in Mexico, where people still cooking on wood and charcoal, cutting down the trees. Until today, almost half of about 3 billion people still cook on wood and charcoal and dry manure. And it kills more than 4 million people every year, the smoke, cooking on wood and charcoal. So this is a big saving for them, because also they buy, and also they want to cook on clean gas like we cook on clean gas, and they don't have the ability to have it. Also, people, and last but not least, is that for me, until today, I have a biogas system, of course, in my home. And until today, when I cook on biogas, it's like magic for me. It's really, I turn it on, I say, wow, the flame is here today. My tea now, here I have hot water is from biogas, okay? And it's still magic for me to think that the hot water came from, potato peels, from banana peels, from whatever, and you can cook your dinner on last night's leftovers. Last but not least, we always knew, and that's why we call ourselves HomeBiogas, because for us, like, the gas was, wow, amazing. Let's save. And we always knew about the fertilizer, and fertilizer was very important. But in the last 3 years, I think we're really focusing, and I really took on myself this mission on the fertilizer. Why? Because I was traveling a lot in the last, I was like a whole year in South America, and I saw that actually the fertilizer, in the last 3 years, we actually have a fertilizer crisis in the world. Yeah. The cost of chemical fertilizer went up almost 3 times, in some places 3 times, in Mexico, and for the end farmer, the cost of fertilizer. And I was in the field, and I see the farmers are using our system and taking the liquid fertilizer and implementing it into the field, even into the irrigation system, and they're getting amazing results. amazing, reducing the chemical fertilizer that they're using. They're getting amazing results. They're happy. They're saving money. So then I understood that actually in some places, this is a biofertilizer machine and the gas is a byproduct. It's actually a totally byproduct. And here my whole understanding about, I started a big research around it, and I understood more and more that I'm testing it and seeing it in different places around the world. We can talk about it, the applications, how we use it. And I see that the product, liquid fertilizer that has inside of it all the benefits that we actually put inside, because what we put inside the system, if people throw, let's say, their food waste, organic waste, so you're taking the top of the pyramid of the nutrients, the potato peels, the everything that is the best, all the nutrients, and you throw it into the system. The system takes away the part of the carbon, makes methane out of it, methane gas, and you cook on it. But what's left over is actually all the micronutrients, macronutrients, dissolved organic carbon in the liquid, microorganisms, and that when you bring it into the soil, wow, you see the soil is flourishing, the trees, the bushes, the vegetables. It's really amazing to see it.
Liquid gold.
Liquid gold. Yeah, also because I think there when I really saw it in South America, many farmers around the world use only chemical macronutrients, mostly nitrogen, and the soil is depleting. And the liquid fertilizer from the HomeBiogas system, it has the holistic, everything. It has also micro and also macro. Also organic, dissolved organic matter. So also it gives a lot of the food, let's call it, for the flora around the roots. We all know, like we have in our guts, you know probably better than me, but you have it in our guts. We have a flora that we have to have it. Also around the roots, there's a flora of bacteria, and they need also to be giving food. And of course, doesn't matter how much chemical fertilizer you give a plant, you'll always be missing something small. Like, like we need, vitamin B12. What's a vitamin B12? But if you don't have this microdose, then you don't feel good. The oxygen is not moving in your body, and you feel really bad if you don't have this tiny vitamin. So in the liquid fertilizer from the HomeBiogas system, you have really everything inside of it. Some of it in small amounts, some of it in more amounts, but you have a really holistic, and then the plant knows what to take when he wants. So there's no lack of nutrients.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point in the fertilizer. You made some great points in regards to, we're seeing all around the world, including Australia, that the prices are going up. Stock is running out. So even if you've got the money to pay for it, it's not there available. And because we're depleting the soils, every year the input costs of volume is going up and up and up. We just need to keep putting more on and more on and more on. And I don't think that's, people are starting to realize that this is not the right way to farm. And just because you throw all these chemicals on the soil doesn't mean the plant can absorb it if the microbes aren't there to be the transfer station for that. And so bringing back all those microorganisms and giving all that life back into the soil. Is there a particular farmer or case study or someone as a bit of a success story that you can remember where when they used the product just had these amazing results that you can share for the soil lovers today?
Yeah, I have a few actually. And I want to say them. I just want to emphasize again that the natural process of organic material in the world. Okay, so there's two ways. There's one, how it breaks down, aerobic or anaerobic.
Yeah. Okay,
this is an aerobic, as all of you know, probably like compost. This is the aerobic way. But almost every place in Earth, in this world, let's say 1-2 centimeters underneath the earth, in lagoons, in our stomach, in places where there's no air, then there's anaerobic breakdown of organic material. So this is a totally natural process with ancient bacteria that are using it. And we're just harnessing the natural process and using it and for our advantage. This is what we did. We were just taking a natural process and using it for our benefits.
Yep. Yeah. I always see this where the solution is already in nature or in ourselves, mimicking the way that we or ruminant animals, digest food or grasses is a way of solving these problems. Yeah. Awesome. Do you share some of the success stories? I just want to paint the picture for what people can see.
Yes.
If they're sitting, well, I don't need this fertilizer. Well, maybe they don't know that they need it yet,
So some success stories I'll tell you about. Let's say now I'll tell you one in we have a few in Mexico I can talk about. There they have a lot of in Mexico they have a lot of tomato growers, even in greenhouses. And I remember I told today when the first time I came into the this greenhouse with tomatoes. With greenhouse, with drip irrigation system, it's all working. The tomatoes are beautiful in the line, very high. And he has a HomeBiogas system and he has cows. So he's throwing the cow manure into the HomeBiogas system. He has gas, they're cooking it in the home. And the liquid fertilizer, he takes it to his place where he's connected into the fertigation system. To put it into the irrigation system. And he says to me, look, I'm actually saving here more than 30% of my chemical fertilizer. This is my second year now that I'm using it like this. And actually I'm seeing I'm going to be actually using more and more the liquid fertilizer and reducing the chemical fertilizer. And I said to him, okay, so how much money actually you're saving every month? He's saying to me, look, I'm saving every month at least like $120 for him, $120 on chemical fertilizer and another about $15 on gas. And the system cost him about $1,000. I said, wow, this is a fast return on investment. It's less than a year. This is like, wow, this is what you're talking about. So that's why I said to myself, why about gas? Let's talk about fertilizer, And then I started really to research it because I said the gas is not the issue here. The fertilizer is the point here for him. And then I went to other farmers in Mexico with bigger even greenhouses and strawberry growers and etc. And even they said to me, we're putting it into the corn and we're putting it in growing into the I forgot how you say it in English, avena, cereals, like the morning cereal. What?
Wheat, grains?
Not wheat, barley, I think, barley. And they grow barley with it and they're so happy. And I said, wow, okay, let's go. And I was like, my mission then became like a mission as fertilizer mission and to learn. So then we developed really a whole manual how to use it with a drip irrigation, how to use it with a tractor irrigation, how to use it with a hand pump, how to use it with different applications, and how to calculate it if you have how to do even the soil testing, the fertilizer testing, how to combine it together with what your plant needs, and educating also agronomists. So it's a long process to go through. We're still there, but it's happening. We have it on our YouTube now, how to use it, how to apply it. I also want to say I have a customer in Israel, actually. He grows cucumbers, baby cucumbers, these tiny baby cucumbers. And, again, he's really advanced irrigation, everything automatically, everything is calculated, everything, EC, pH, bum. So a few years ago, he came and he said, look, I have a lot of waste. I have a lot of waste. Why I have a lot of waste? Because, if the baby cucumber is not 7 centimeters tall and totally straight and thin, it's thrown away to the garbage. It's thrown away. And he said, I want to try to recycle it for the gas, because he had workers and the workers were cooking and you spend a lot of money on gas. So he started to throw the organic waste, he got gas, and okay, amazing. The liquid fertilizer actually, that he had workers from Thailand working for him. They started to take the liquid fertilizer and they grow, the Thai people, they like to grow their own special food that they bring from Thailand, the whole special vegetables, and they started to grow with it. And he sees the gardens are amazing. He said, wow, the gardens are amazing. So he brought another system, a bigger system. He started to throw more waste inside. And today he's taking the liquid fertilizer in these and using it in the irrigation system. Again, he replaces about 20% of the chemical fertilizer. He's putting the liquid fertilizer, and now we see the graphs. And actually, what is of course being dressed with the biofertilizer together with the chemical fertilizer is giving better results than the chemical fertilizer today. Wow. So this is amazing. We also have, let's say in Kenya today, we have a lot of farmers that bought it for sure in the beginning for the gas actually, but they farm also corn, and they farm a lot of corn. And we see actually in the last research that we did there, they reduce the need of 50% of the chemical fertilizer. So they reduce a 50%, and they got an increase in 30% of production. Wow. And actually in some places where they have enough fertilizer, they actually replace 100% the chemical fertilizer, 100%. And they got amazing results, as good or better than the chemical fertilizer. But again, there, of course, you need to be, I'm saying into this straight to the face, is like, you need to calculate the amount of nitrogen, the phosphorus, potassium, everything. They need to see what you have in the liquid fertilizer. And if you have enough fertilizer and it's good enough for what you have in the land, as of course, it's amazing. But we can also, I see a lot of very good results when you combine together, you reduce the amount of chemical input in the biofertilizer, and we're getting also really, really amazing results. Also because I remember when we got results about the earth, testing the earth of growers in Mexico. And it comes back and you say to the farmer, look, the earth is full of potassium. The earth is full of phosphorus, full. You don't need to put this here. You overloaded it. Yeah. The point is that they put more. They think it will grow more, but it's not growing more. But the minute you actually put in the liquid fertilizer of the biofertilizer, what happens, suddenly all the micronutrients and the bacteria help the macronutrients to be more available to the plant. Yeah. And then you see a boost of really, you see it being absorbed well, a boost of growing, and then a stabilization of growth more, and slowly you need less chemical and more biofertilizer.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point in regards to like some soil tests can come back. I love how you call them, looking at the earth and it says, oh, there's heaps of this chemical, but it's locked, and you need the microorganisms to help unlock it. And what's biologically available is very different than what is just there present. I've been saying lately, it's like if you're really hungry and you go to the supermarket, but someone's tied your hands up and, shut your mouth, you can walk down the aisle of the supermarket. Doesn't mean you're going to get full, because you've got no way of eating that food. And that's the same with the roots and the soil and the plants. If there's no way of being able to get the nutrients out of the soil, then the plants are sitting there starving, and we can put as much stuff on that shelf. If you can't eat it, you're never going to be full. And so I think that's the same way the plants operate. And unfortunately, some of the industries are motivated to make you just put more on because they make more money. It's a win for them, not a win for the earth or the plants or the farmer.
Yes. Also, one very interesting result that we see that the farmers are telling us that they actually need to use less pesticides and fungicides. Yeah. Why? I think for two reasons. One is because the plant is healthier. Yeah. just immune system is better immune system. So, the earth is healthier, the plant is healthier. So then it's less attack. It's not weak. And the really one of the big things that farmers tell us that they use much. They almost don't need to use like to use chemical fungicides and that, and also that you can take the liquid fertilizer and actually spray it on the leaves.
Oh yeah,
and it's another place to absorb. The leaves also know how to absorb it, but also it helps give it a little coating around the leaves, and we see that also that helps reduce a lot of the pesticides and fungicides.
I love that. I think, just giving that environment all the values to be successful, and stacking all the odds with the farmer rather than against the farmer. On that note, soil lovers, we're going to take a quick break, so stick with us. Hey soil lovers, do you want some merchandise that you can wear your love for soil on your sleeves, literally? This one says, sorry, I can't, my plants need me. Or maybe you want some stickers that say, I love soil, or get outside and get your hands dirty. Doesn't matter what merchandise you're after, I've set up an online shop that will help you get the soil loving vibes that you need on you. Maybe it's something in your home, like this I love soil pillowcase. All the designs can be mixed and matched on different things. And the reason why I set this up is because I want to help you start the conversation with your friends and family about your love for soil. And it's much easier when you're wearing a t-shirt that maybe gets them thinking about, why are you wearing that? And also the small little profits that come from the web shop help fund this podcast. So if you want to support my work and the Secrets of the Soil podcast, then I encourage you to head over to secretsofthesoil.com, click on our merch tab where you can mix and match, and there's different types of things. You can even get drink bottles or coffee cups, caps, tote bags, and all the designs can be kind of cross-messaged. A few more here, if you love my get outside and get your hands dirty, that is also available on a t-shirt like this. And then we also have born to garden and forced to work, which is probably what a lot of people are doing right now when they're listening to this podcast. So head over to secretsofthesoil.com, click on the merchandise tab so you can browse some of the amazing products that we have. It is completely outsourced. I don't do any of the packing, shipping, or printing. There is an organic range as well. So if you're more conscious about where the cotton and fibers are coming from, this was the only platform that was able to have a full cotton organic range. But love for you to go over and support and wear your love for the soil on yourself, literally. So with that, back to the show. Welcome back, soil lovers. You're hanging out with Regen Ray and Yair from HomeBiogas. Now, we've spoken a lot about the liquid fertilizer side of it. I'm interested to hear a little bit of your take on the gas side of it, because the gas that's created is methane gas. And, in the world that we live in today, cows are being demonized for burping and farting and creating methane, yet here is a device where we can capture that methane and do some really good positive things with it. What's your take on this whole methane discussion, and why is the methane so good in this kind of situation?
Okay, good question. So the methane, of course, is a greenhouse gas. It's between 25 times stronger than CO2. Today, they're talking about 80 times stronger than CO2, but it doesn't matter what, it's a very strong greenhouse gas. And as we said, like every place where there's organic material and there's no oxygen, the methane gas will be produced and will go up to the air. So piles of manure, piles of shit, piles of organic material that are not oxygenized, yep, they're producing the methane gas.
Yep, landfill. In Australia, we have big holes where they put all people's rubbish, and probably 50% of the stuff that goes in there is organic waste.
Yeah, so landfills, and of course also when you talk about growing cows. So a lot of times, what you have when you grow cows, you have a lot of manure. And where do you put it? You put it in a big pile and it stays there for a while and it emits the gas. So what we do actually, we take this, we have Our system gives you an incentive to take this manure every day, clean it, put it into this system, and this system produces you the gas, captures the gas, and helps you and in a natural process, brings it into your kitchen. So you can lighten it, or if you want to have a shower, you can heat up a shower with it, and then you can use it. So in this way, you can take the energy that is naturally produced and use it for energy. Now, when you burn methane gas, you get also CO2. Okay, so but as we said, CO2 is 25% less potent as a greenhouse gas than a methane gas. And also, we can say that this CO2 is already organic material that is in the natural organic cycle that is now on Earth. It's not a fossil fuel that we bring it from, something that is fossil and millions of years ago was buried. It's now part of the part of the cycle, and after we, of course, light and the CO2 comes out, then it will go to a tree or to a plant that will absorb it and be back again to the cycle with the photosynthesis process. So this is the process, and of course, each system reduces about 6 to 9 tons of greenhouse gas emissions a year. Now we have a project in Kenya. And the calculations there is that in Kenya also we have people that grow cows and for milking, small farmers, and the system, they throw in the animal manure, the cow manure inside to the system, producing about 5 hours of cooking gas every day, instead of cooking on charcoal and wood. Instead of cutting down the jungle, that every system in Kenya, our system eliminates the need of cutting down the trees. Every family in Kenya uses wood that is equal to 13 trees. I'm talking 13 trees from the jungle, Mother Nature trees. So this is a big impact also to think about it, because instead of cutting down these trees that can absorb the CO2, they're using the methane gas, and this is how we're keeping also the natural forest and also having clean gas. Also, of course, the cooking on it, as we said before, that cooking on wood and charcoal, about 3 billion people still cook on it. Wow. It kills more than 4 million women and children every year.
Oh,
from respiratory.
Right. Toxic smoke from all the
toxic smoke, and when a baby grows up and is on his back of his mother and she's in the smoke, it's like 1 hour of cooking is worth like 400 cigarettes. So it's like really a big killer, one of the biggest killers of children. And so cooking food is actually killing in these areas. And now we actually change it, transform it for cooking on something clean. Of course, we also need to say, in our communities in Australia, in Israel, not far away from me, the cooking gas, that the regular gas, LPG, let's call it, the propane gas. In the end, you bring fossil fuels from oils, and they, in a big factory, they clean it up, and also that makes a lot of emissions and a lot of dangerous smoke that actually harm people. So. Also, using clean gas in our homes are not really clean. They're not clean.
Yeah.
And really, let's call it the green gas is biogas.
Wow. Excellent. So do you think that there's a vision that like all homes will be in the future designed with biogas systems built in?
We're working on it. We're developing more and more units that will be adjusted to these kinds of homes. Yeah, this is the vision. We want to make organic waste matter. This is our slogan now. We're making waste matter. That you have a reason why to treat it, and you have an incentive to treat it, and we're making it easier and easier for you to treat it on your home, even in buildings, in hotels, in your private home. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So once you get the device, I'm assuming it takes a little while for the process to start. So you can get it, set it up in a couple of hours. How long does it take till you can actually, start cooking with gas?
So what you need to do is actually we need to take the easiest way to start the system is actually take some cow manure or sheep manure or any other horse manure, rabbit, whatever you have.
Can you use human manure?
So it works. Yeah, we have also toilets that can connect, but the best starter is actually grass-eating animals that have a lot of the methane bacteria in their stomach already, and you throw it into the system, and this actually activates the system. And in about, let's call it 2 weeks, it's really up and going. And then you can go ahead, feed it with or food waste or animal waste or anything. Also, we have systems that can connect also to special toilets that we have. But the toilets, if it's connected to a special toilet that we have, that's a low flush toilet. Flush is only 1 liter instead of 9 liters. But the liquid that comes out after the process and everything, we don't use it for fertilizer.
Yeah,
we don't use it. It goes underneath the ground. You can put some trees or bushes, but it's not or connected to the sewage system, but it's not for fertilizer for, let's say, for your salad.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, love that.
But you get the gas out of it.
Yeah. And so you mentioned before that there are people creating 5 hours worth of gas every day. Like how much organic matter needs to go into the system to be outputting like that? Is that just like a family's everyday usage, or is that like commercial inputs, volumes?
No, not commercial at all. So let's say in my house, I have, let's say, a bucket of about, let's say a bucket about a gallon, let's say 4 or 5 liters a day, a bucket of organic waste. I don't have animals, so that's what I throw in. And I cook on it about, let's say about 2 hours a day, about 2 hours a day. In the summer, we cook more. In the winter, it's a little less because the temperature a little affects the amount of gas that is produced. So this is in my house, and the liquid fertilizer goes to the garden. So let's say in the last 10 years, I upcycled, it's called upcycling. Upcycling, the biogas system is actually upcycling because you take something, waste, and you produce from it fertilizer and the gas. Recycle is taking plastic to plastic. So
yeah, I love that.
My home,
upcycle.
Yeah. In Spanish, it's called super reciclaje. Super cycling.
Much more sophisticated.
Super recycling. It's called super recycling in Spanish. So, in my house, in the last 10 years, I upcycled 10 tons of organic waste, kitchen waste, into 6,000 hours of cooking and 24,000 liters of organic fertilizer. Wow. And saved 60 tons of greenhouse gas emissions from going into the air. This is the impact in my home. And now we have tens of thousands of systems across the world. And so it's a big impact. In the last, we save hundreds of thousands of trees every year, millions of liters of water, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. For what you asked me about the 5 hours of cooking, no, in Kenya, the people have, let's say, some of them have, let's say, 2 cows, 3 cows sitting in the backyard. And so that's enough for them for, let's say, 40 liters of cow manure, 50 liters of cow manure. They throw it into the system, and that's sufficient for them. Cow manure, because cow manure, you need, let's say, about 10 liters for 1 hour of cooking. And you produce out of it about 30 liters of fertilizer. Liquid gold, let's call it like that. Yeah. So our systems there, they produce about 5 hours of cooking, and they produce about 100, 150 liters of liquid gold a day. And in my house, I don't have animals. I produce about 2 hours of cooking a day, and I create about 8 to 10 liters of a fertilizer. I have to explain, this fertilizer is a little diluted. Okay, it's not a very strong fertilizer that you put it on the plant and the plant will die. No, because we use part of the process. It's a natural process. So you take the liquid fertilizer, you can mix it up with a little bit of water or without, and you just put it around the plants, and the plants love it. So this is when I'm talking about the amount of fertilizer they produce. It's not that it's amounts that, as you think about chemical fertilizer that is very, very potent. And if you just put it on the plant, it will die, of course. You need to dilute it. Also, today we have systems, of course, in houses that are connected directly to the irrigation system, drip irrigation system. So the liquid fertilizer goes directly into like a bucket. From there, your drip irrigation system, automatic drip irrigation system that you have in your house, pumps it into the irrigation system. And every day when you irrigate, it sucks in the fertilizer, and you don't have any need to deal with the fertilizer. So you just throw the waste, and you have you throw your organic waste and get a beautiful garden.
Wow, on autopilot, that sounds like the dream.
Yes, this is a reality today. This is what's happening.
That's amazing. It's so great. I think so many benefits, and I can't wait to share with everyone how they can get their hands on one. But before we do, are you ready to become the voice of the soil?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you have now become the soil. You've embodied its energy, and you are its mouthpiece. What would you say to us 8 billion people on the planet as the voice of the soil?
So me, as the voice of the soil, I want to say to you, I give you everything with love and abundance. What you get from me, please just bring it back to me, back again. All this abundance, all the leftovers, bring back to me as the soil, and I'll be happy to bring you more.
Excellent. It's a very circular economy. Take and give and, receive. I love that, that circular economy, visualizing, taking a yield, but then giving it back. Very, very, very good. So how can all the soil lovers get their hands on a biogas? Where is it available? Where do you ship? And I think it's a great product that people need to see and explore and look at some of the YouTube videos.
Thank you. We have on our website, HomeBiogas.com. You can reach us there, see the videos, and we ship to Australia. We ship all over the Pacific. We ship actually across the world. United States, everywhere. And we'll be happy we're more than welcome you to join our family, HomeBiogas family, and we're happy to be joining your family of the soil lovers, and together we're making this place a better place for us and for the next generation.
Yeah, I love that. And I think so, affordable as well. Like there is a lot of infrastructure and design, and to range from the prices that they do on your website. I think, like you said before, the return on investment is very, very quick, and then just knowing that you're reducing, because a lot of the costs that are involved in today's society, we don't know what that is. We're throwing things into landfill, there's methane going off, like there's no direct effect to us. We've just outsourced it to the rubbish collection or trash companies, and it becomes their problem. But this brings that solution back to home, and doing it in your own backyard. The photos that you have on your website where it's sitting in amongst the garden beds, and it's like so close to where it needs to be used. You don't have to worry about when's bin day. You just go outside, tip it into the mouth, and off you go. I think just definitely ticking a lot of the boxes of the type of lifestyles that a lot of people are living these days.
Yeah. And as I said, for me, it's magic. It's magic. Every time I light the fire, it's magic. I'm still today, even though I'm like, the scientist, and I look at it and I say, wow, I don't believe this came out from the potato peel. No, I don't believe it. One day I had a guy calling me. He was a Bedouin. We built a system for him for his goat manure. He's calling me. He says to me, Yair, I'm looking at this flame for the last 20 minutes. I don't believe it's from my goat manure. I don't believe it. This is God, And there's really touching there of like, there's a exciting, it's really exciting to see this process. And of course, if you can also take this waste and produce more food and, more potatoes or whatever you want, and then throw it back again to the system. So it's really closing, as you said, a circular economy in your home level, in your farm level. It's really amazing.
Yeah, so great, so great. I can't wait to see and hear more success stories as this product goes in more and more in people's hands. And I honestly feel like, it's not that far out of reach for someone who's using this. And even, with community gardens popping up everywhere, like I see people doing bokashi and other composting kind of methods. Yeah. And it's just another layer to that because of the byproducts that come from it, rather than just being an additive to the soil or a soil conditioner, the ability to, host a community barbecue from the gas that was created. Just sounds magical just talking about it, that unrealness type of thing where the community.
And also, I think, sorry, finish, sorry.
No, it comes together. I think it's great.
For me, what's also very exciting is the education part. For the education part, my children, they're 9 and 12, all their life, they knew only that they grew up with a biogas system.
Wow.
For their concept, organic material, the compost bin it's not waste. Organic material is not waste. It's not waste. For them, it's a source of energy for cooking and fertilizer for the garden. This is how they grow up. This is how they grow up. And I think this is what we want all our children to grow up, all the next generation. And they'll take these inventions and systems and they'll make something better and better. And actually today we have systems also in schools across the world. We have systems in schools in Israel, in El Salvador, in Brazil, thousands actually of systems in schools today. And this is one of my biggest joys because I think that the education, because a system actually you can really learn on it. You can educate about environment, about, as you say, growing food, about energy, chemistry, biology, but all connected. And you see the gardens that they make today in the schools, and they use a liquid fertilizer. It's really wonderful. It's really amazing. And they love to make popcorn and cook food in it. And, it's really like enjoyable thing, hands-on education in closing the circular economy and understanding what's healthy soil. They really work a lot with the soil, and it's really wonderful. So I think education is of course in schools, but it's also in the home. And I believe that we all need to do, we need to start educating ourselves first, then we educate other people, and then we go on.
I agree. I say that all the time, that the education starts in our own backyard because, for too long we've just expected that other people would do it for us and outsource it, but you've got to be the example. And I think you're so right that, people who grow up in this environment, like your kids, like the thinking and the problems that they will solve will be so different in the future that they would not have been able to think like that if they didn't have this foundation of what is quote unquote their normal, so that is really fascinating. And the rewards to some of these programs that we do in schools and in community gardens, we won't see, benefits, I guess, if we need to see benefits until the future.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for coming onto the show and sharing all your knowledge and your story around this HomeBiogas. I can't wait to see more and more of them pop up and around around town, I guess, and those mini ones where we can kind of collaborate together. Any final thoughts before we wrap the show up?
I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you. Thank you. Pleasure. To your podcast. Thank you for all the amazing work that you're doing. I want to also thank our customers across the world that taught me a lot, farmers and people like us and like you that take the system and develop it and use it and just do the good things, that what we need to do to make this planet a better place. So again, as I said, I'm welcome us to join each other, to be part of the HomeBiogas system, to be part of the soil, I Love Soil family. the families, and may we make this planet a better place to be in for ourselves and for our children. Thank you.
Absolutely. No wiser words that we could wrap up on. Thank you, Yair, for coming on and sharing everything you know about what you've been working on and this discovery that you've created and the vision and co-creating it with all your founders and investors and bringing this product to life. So thank you so much. And soil lovers, there you go, another product that you can go down the rabbit hole of exploring how maybe you can integrate this into your farm, into your school kids programs, into community projects, or even in your own backyard is the real deal, you know. So thank you so much for opening our eyes to this new product and this ability to pop something in its mouth and get two great products on the other end. So what a great invention. So thank you so much for that. Well, until next time, soil lovers, make sure that you get outside, get your hands dirty, and keep digging deeper into the wonderful world of soil. I'm Regen Ray, and I'll catch you on the next show. Well, soil lovers, that's enough secrets for one episode. I really hope that you enjoyed all the secrets shared during this conversation. But hey, let's not keep it a secret. Please share this podcast around and make sure that you like it and leave us a review, because that really helps spread the secrets of the soil. Until next time, remember, get outside, get your hands dirty, and keep digging deeper into your soils.